Good morning. This is Corey from Tales from a Polk County Girl Knitting Podcast episode number 10. I'm in double digits now. Coffee hasn't kicked in, you guys. This podcast is going to be kind of short. I plan on it being short. I'm just going to give you an update on some of the mini skeins and tell you about a new project that I'm going to be starting because I don't remember if I mentioned it in the last podcast. So before we get started, like I said, my name's Corey. You can find me on Ravelry at craftsbycori, all one word, all linked together on Ravelry. I'll put that in the description below. I just noticed the other day that my subscriber count has gone up to 121. That is like really cool to me. I mean, I know there are some people that have thousands of subscribers, but the fact that within the last 2 weeks, my subscriber count has gone up, about 5 or 6 subscribers, that is just wonderful. And thank you if you subscribe for the knitting podcast. Thank you if you subscribe for the planning videos. Also, thank you. And when I do my next video, which is planner related, I will thank you again. So, looking at notes, I was going to talk about progress keepers this week, but I'm putting it off because I still haven't figured out how to properly display them so that I can hold them up and you can see them. So I'm still working on that. Still have not gotten to the candy corn cardboard cones that I talked about in my spring break plan video. That's just, life. Maybe I'll do it next weekend, maybe. I really want to get them done now because of this new project that's coming up. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So, I got notebook full of notes right there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of progress up on the mini skein 10 stitch blanket. I did not work on this one a lot this week. My standard, make sure I work on every day a little bit, is dishcloths for craft show inventory. And I know last week I said I was thinking about putting the scrap wrap, the big bulky scrappy wrap, away because I was getting tired of knitting on it. Well, in true knitter fashion, I went to put it away and I'm like, no, I am so close to being done with it. I just need to work on it but it's not finished. So I'll get back to that in a second. So the mini skein 10 stitch, I didn't put progress keepers on like I did last week, mainly because I forgot. I am on my 4th bonbon. I finished the white and now I'm on the red. It's a very bright red. Put that in my lap. So where it was last time, where you guys saw it last time was I got into this corner. So I did the white strip and I have a fleur-de-lis progress keeper on, one that came off that voodoo bracelet I keep talking about. Then I did another corner, turn the corner, and that's when I got into the, oh no, I'm going backwards. Oops. This is what happens when I hold it up like this. Okay, so I turned the corner down here, did this side, turned this corner, and going down this way, and now I'm on the red. And again, it's knitting up very nicely and actually relatively quickly for the amount of, for as tiny of the needles and as tiny of the yarn and everything as I'm still using my double pointed metallic blue metal US size 3 needles. If you ever do a 10 stitch blanket, I highly recommend double points. I have a friend that did one and she used circulars. She just used circulars with a very short cable. I tried it. I personally didn't care for it, but that's just me. As you can see, I have not done much on this side. I've essentially done a side and a half. because I've been working on scrap wrap. So I think very little progress is going to be made on this one for right now because I really want to get the scrappy wrap done. So I'm going to put this away. And let me get, everything's like right here down in front of me. Okay. Scrappy wrap. Ball of yarn. Alright, here's where I am with the Bernat plum chutney. Again, it's getting smaller. It doesn't seem like I'm ever going to be done with it. And here's my progress keeper. I've put on probably about a foot this week. Stitch count wise, I added 40 rows. So not great, but I also started moving books again this week at work. So, you know, I'm trying to balance the moving books and doing stuff at work versus sitting down and knitting. And I don't want to wear my wrists out and aggravate tendonitis and all that fun stuff. But here's the fun part. I am this far from the corner. So maybe by next week I will have turned said corner. And for those of you that don't remember how long this beast is, it's long. So here to here to here. And once I'm done with it, I will be adding in this other big skein of Bernat blanket, mallard wood. It's very nice. It's very soft. I love the color in this one. So that will be my ending. That will, I think once I tie it on, because yes, I do put knots in my stuff. Based on how much yarn or how long, how many rows I've gotten out of the plum chutney, I may get, because the plum chutney was almost a full large skein of blanket yarn when I cast it on. It was almost. I'll get just as much mileage out of that blue brown as I did out of the plum chutney, and I think it'll be just a really nice finishing color. So we'll see. So that's that one. And yes, it's still in my really big husky roller tool bag, and it's gotten so chunky now I can't close it. Like, it just sits open. So I mean, if I squish it down enough I can zip it, but I just don't. So so the project I'm going to be working on next is and this is just a as I have time to do it project, is you know, last couple weeks I have talked about my my brother moving into a house, and you know, big deal. He's an adult now, and which is really hard for me because he's my little brother. So I decided to make him a blanket, and he can choose to either keep it in his living room or use it in his bedroom. So I messaged him. I said, give me your top 6 favorite colors. And he texted me back with blue, black, white, silver, green, and orange. Okay. He has a queen size bed. So queen size bed is about 90 by 90 roughly. So if I increase it a little bit, I think I'll increase it to 100 inches by 100 inches to make the blanket so it has a little bit of overhang. And then I'm looking at my notebook because I did knitting math. So that would mean I would need 20 squares per, you know, 20 by 20. And that would make it, you know, like 400 squares. So yay. And then I divided that 400 by 6. And yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys with all that. So I was looking at those colors. I'm going, I think I have green and I think I have black in my stash already. And lo and behold, I do. It's just regular red heart super saver that you can get at Walmart. And the way I'm going to make his blanket is I'm going to knit up pieces squares like I do for my pieces Afghan, because these equal about 5 inches by 5 inches. And I'm just gonna knit them all up. I'm gonna need about 60 squares maybe per color, so I may be buying more yarn. I'll most likely be buying more yarn. And that's another reason why I want to get the candy corn things done, because I have white and orange in that. So whatever white and orange is left over from that project is going to go into this. So there's that reasoning as well. And then I would just have to buy a blue and a silver. The blue I know will be no problem. It'll be the silver one. So I'm going to have to really look for something like that. So why am I doing this? Why am I all of a sudden making blankets for people instead of just for myself? Because if you remember in a past video, I talked about my Frankie Brown 10-stitch blanket, my first one that was in camouflage. I called it the camouflage blanket because it was a bunch of greens and browns and camouflage motif. And I gave that to my in-laws when they moved into their new house as a housewarming present. And to me, that's what I need to do. I feel this drive to not only make blankets for my home, but to make one for my brother, for my in-laws. Yes, my parents will get one eventually. For the record, no, they have not received one, but they have puppies right now, and puppies are destructive. And and this is just my personal feeling, I don't want to put so much time and energy into a blanket for them just to have these puppies destroy it. I would be very upset. So I've told my parents, once the puppies are grown up a little bit and they're out of their destructive stage and they've mellowed a little bit, so probably another year or two, they will get their blanket. And I actually do have the, they're going to be getting a 10-stitch blanket as well. But theirs won't be like greens and browns like my in-laws is. Theirs is going to be an array of colors because my mom loves color. And the reason why they're getting the colorful one versus my in-laws getting the colorful one, I think I've mentioned this before, my in-laws and my husband are from England. And if you've ever flown into England and you look out the window, especially for flying into London Gatwick, and when you're flying over Dover, and you just see these lovely patchworked fields of different shades of green and brown and trees, and it really does look like if I were to lay it on the floor, it kind of looks like that. And so to them, it reminded them of home. So yeah. So for my parents, I actually have everything ready to go. And maybe after I'm done with this mini skein blanket, or when I've knitted up all the yarn I have for it, maybe I'll start on that one. I don't know. I think I keep giving myself other blankets to knit because part of me isn't ready to tear apart the cotton one and redo it. I've been putting that off. I've been wanting to tear it out and redo it for a while, and I keep putting it off. So yeah. And also the reason why my brother is getting one done in squares instead of a 10-stitch, mainly because it will go faster for me to knit it that way. I can take this yarn and these squares with me anywhere. Like, we have a birthday party in a couple weeks for my niece, and it's at a park, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a bunch of kids running around. And me and my husband, we're gonna be sitting with the rest of the adults, and I'm gonna be sitting there making squares for this blanket. It's something I can do anywhere. And that's also another reason why I chose Red Heart. I love my brother dearly, but I didn't want to give him a blanket that he had to be careful with. This Red Heart is something he can throw in the washing machine, throw it in the dryer. He doesn't have to worry about it. So there's that. So yeah, that's about all I've got for today. Yep, this video ended up being a lot shorter than normal, even with my blanket ramble. So I hope everybody has a good week, and I'll see everybody later. Bye.